Why, hello there. Today we are going to talk about Paul Tremblay's The Pallbearers Club. This book was a nice, calm, psychologically weird book. Sometimes when you read a lot of horror, it's nice to have one that isn't insanely intense. It's like, a little bit of a breather. What I really appreciated about this, there's a lot of like 80s and 90s music talk that kind of brings, some nostalgia stuff from like the punk scene. It's about this guy, Art Barbara. That's not really his name. So the book is written in the style of a memoir of this guy, Art Barbara, and it goes from him being an awkward, skinny, acne-faced teen to present day and following his life, and he's writing this memoir. He starts this club called the Pallbearers Club. He's in high school, and his counselor told him, for his college applications, he needs to have like extracurricular, like a club of some sort, this, that, and the other. So he starts the Pallbearers Club, where him and other people will go to the funeral home and help be pallbearers and do that for extracurriculars, which is kind of, an odd thing for a high school person to want to do. But, some people actually end up joining. And one of the people that joins, called Mercy, is this girl who actually wasn't in his high school. She found one of the flyers that he hung up around town, and she becomes this big part of his life. And so with this memoir, she gets a hold of it at some point, and then she starts making notes all over it. It's this really weird story, and I really enjoyed it. Mercy becomes a member of this Pallbearers Club, and she brings her camera and is taking pictures of like the dead bodies and all this stuff. And like the funeral home guy's like, hey, if you're gonna do that, don't do it when the people come here to mourn. So he's like, just do it before. She's looking for proof of something, maybe. Of what? Aliens, vampires, who knows? The undead, something. And she has this kind of weird knowledge of strange New England folklore, and Art just tries to make sense of everything that happened and the weird things that would happen when Mercy was around. After they'd hang out, he'd be insanely tired and just feel really drained, and then he had all these health issues, and like, it's his memoir / novel of what his relationship to her was and what they were to each other. And it's weirdly supernatural, and there's some weird creep factors to it. If you're looking for a gory, insane on the edge of your seat horror book, this is not it. It's a totally different animal. And sometimes I like that. It was like put the anxiety on hold and let's crank up the psychological weirdness of it. I like my horror to have variety. I don't want to read all slashers. I don't want to read all anxiety gripping on the edge of my seat the whole time. I like stuff that messes with my head, and this definitely did that. It was pretty freaking good. Now I need to read A Head Full of Ghosts, because I heard that one's really good too. I gave this book 4 stars. I really liked the characters. It was a psychological mind burp. I try not to swear on my channel. That's why I say frick and frack and farts. I don't know. There's no other word to replace it with. Mind fla. You know what I'm trying to say. I really enjoyed it. I like the nostalgia. I loved all the music talk in it about the different bands, like Husker Du, Husker Don't, and many others. And then so Art Barbara and Mercy are stage names or made up names, the names have been changed to protect the innocent or maybe not so innocent. I always thought like when the name Mercy was used, because of like some of the bands, I was like, Sisters of Mercy, named her Mercy. I don't know. It's this memory novel of what Art Barbara remembers and how he contorts things in his mind and how the way we remember things when we think back into the past. I read it fairly quickly. It flowed really well. It makes me want to read more Paul Tremblay because it was so different from A Cabin at the End of the World, and I'd like to see more of his style. I like it a lot when authors are just so different. That's why I like Josh Malerman so much. Because every book, here's the rainbow, and it's like a different frickin' stripe of it each time. Like so many different ways his stories go and are and how they feel, and I love that. If you like stories that have like a weird psychological edge to them, the next video coming up will be a video of that sort. So stick around, check it out. And if you had fun hanging out today, boop that like button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff. Yeah.